Hello and welcome to the biggest sporting event of the season here at Johnson County Central. My name is Sam Buss, and I'm joined with the rest of the Johnson County Central Strive crew this evening. And I tell you what, we're going to have a good one on our hands tonight. We got the staff in the white and the students in the black. We've got a stacked up team for the staff here. A couple college ball athletes along with some very promising athletes on the student side, both wrestlers and basketballers, along with a few not necessarily athletes. And so I'm glad you're here tonight to watch this, because let me tell you,
look all great.
So, a couple quick questions I asked the staff before the game. Mr. Keel, in particular, I said, Mr. Keel, what is your favorite animal? He says, it's a tough one, but it's the Kodiak bear, the biggest and toughest bear around. It represents his personality well. I go over to Mr. Call and ask, what's your favorite color? He says, pink. Just put it down, it's pink. Other than that, we'll have a few interesting facts throughout the game, but other than that, thank you for watching, and we'll be back soon for the beginning of the first quarter.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming tonight to the staff of the Students Basketball Game. Please rise for the national anthem.
I knew that would happen. You get lost.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so... What? Oh my gosh. You're a music teacher, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets like lead, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Hello and welcome to Tecumseh, Nebraska for the staff versus students basketball game. Like I said, my name is Sam Buss, and I'm joined by Gabe DeFries on the mic to start the game. And so it looks like we've got some starting lineups out there for the students first. We'll have Tucker Liberty, Eli Waring, Trayton Holtz, Levi Dorsey, and Monica Tipavong. And then you go over to the white side. We have big man Derek Keel in the back, along with Mr. Collin, Mr. Dammy, and Mr. Shile, and Mr. Fricky bringing it up in the back. So there's a little bit different scoring tonight than a normal basketball game. You may not be able to see it, but right there we have a black line about 10 feet back from the three-point line. If you can get between there and half court, that's going to be worth 4. Anything behind half court will be 5. A dunk is worth like 8, and an alley-oop is 10. And so we got a quick, fast-paced game to start. Levi Dorsey can't keep a hand on it. I think that's why he doesn't do basketball anymore. Very much. So checking it in for the white team will be, we don't know. Oh, it's going to go back to the black. So on the baseline is Trayton Holtz. He's looking. He tries to find Monica Tipavong, but it's stolen by Fricky. The point guard to start the game will be Mr. Collin. Although he didn't play college ball, he's a great baller. And Mr. Keel, big man for 3. He's going to airball it. That one hit everything but the backboard in the net. Eli Waring bringing it down for the students. He looks to go, but he passes it off to Dorsey. A sloppy pass on the inside. It's going to be taken by Dammy. Quick pass down the court to Colin. He takes the three, but he misses. Still scoreless after almost a minute. Bringing it down the court now was Waring. He gets it off to Liberty down low and tipped by Tipavong. It's going to be tipped out of bounds. It's going to stay with the students. Levi Dorsey taking the point. So we have Waring, Dorsey, and Holtzhus as the guards. Dorsey up top, back to Holtzhus. Nice shot by Waring, but it's going to be off the backboard, rebounded by Colin. Mr. Fricky with a little lousy dribbling. Back in the corner, Mr. Keel still misses. A layup by Dorsey's going to get the first points of the match after a minute and a half have elapsed. Down low, Tucker has it now, gives it to Levi, and they're pushing it up fast. He's going to wait and set it up. Liberty up top. Pass is deflected, and Monica Tipavong gains it back. Trayton Holtzhus up top, he's going to drive in. Gives it off to Liberty, he can't keep a hold of it. It's blocked by Keel. I believe that would be a foul. And now Monica Tipavong will go to the line and shoot two.
Which bearded guy?
Bearded guy number 1, Derek Keel, will get that foul. We got a couple substitutions. Now we have Baby Gap Little Ninja down there, and you'll see him. And then we have across from him Colton Wellman in the red shirt because he did not bring a black one. Surprise, surprise. Shooting at the line still going to be Tipavong, and back will be Ortiz and Barris. Tipavong misses the first after it hits the front of the iron. And so you can't see it from where the camera angles are, but the students are coached by super future intendant John Rother, and the coach is, short-staffed because the staff is going with a no-coach strategy. Mr. Scheil in the corner, he's going to fake him, gets it off to Dammy. Back out to Colin, he's open. Baby Gap didn't do his defense job. Tipped up by Keel, but he can't get it to go in, and a nice behind-the-back shot. 2 points for Mr. Keel. It's now 3-2. Ortiz brings it up. He looks to find someone, but it's nearly stolen. Colton Wellman gets the ball. Baby Gap has it down low in the paint. He gets 2 more. Mr. Furkey is too scared to take it up himself, gets it off to Colin. Down low to Dammy. He's going to take it up with some power. No and one for him. Fouled by Colton Wellman. He's going to go to the line, shooting 2 and back. They'll have Colin and Scheil ready for a fast break opportunity. Tanner Kerner now in for the students. He went in for Tipavong. A little bit of a height difference there. Really, the students are a little low on height right now. Baby Gap passes it to Alex. Up top is Barris. His three-pointer bounces out of the rim. Rebounded by Scheil. Fast break. He's going to go into the paint. Passes out to Dammy for 3. No good off the front of the rim. Kerner has it, and instead taking it fast, he waits a little bit. This pass to Baby Gap. Alex Ortiz takes the 3. Fast break for Colin. He's guarded by Barris. Dammy out to Keel. He's not going to take a third because he missed the first 2. What a nice layup by Scheil with that nice finishing move. He played college basketball at Midland. Baby Gap takes it in. He lays it up, a little bit of a floater, if you may. Here comes Fricky. Over to Dammy up top. He's going to fake it. He's going to drive in and lays it in nicely. Not much opposition up there because he's higher than the clouds. Scores 5-6, 5-8. Staff are up by 3. Nice shot in the corner by Ortiz. They're going to tie it all up. Collins going to take a little bit of time and bring it up the court while they set their offense up. Not quite sure they have any real formation going on, but we haven't seen any substitutions yet. Timeout taken by the staff, and just like that, I think they might be taking a few. You know, these guys are getting kind of old, and you can't take too much of it. And so with that, we're going to take a quick break. Thank you for watching. And we're back. Staff did make a few substitutions. We got Shile, Fricky, and Keel out. And in their place, we'll have Mr. Weber, Mr. Ferris, and Mr. Janucki. Mr. Ferris was here way before anyone else taking those warm-up shots. So Dammy drives in with a nice move, but he can't get it to fall. Weber gets the rebound and puts it back up. It's going to fall after a couple lucky bounces. So now bring it up the court for the black team will be Axel Erickson, one of the foreign exchange students this year. Passes it off to his girlfriend. Nice shot by Jazzy, but it's not going to fall. Fast break for Mr. Colin. He's going to try for the dunk. You know, there's extra points, but he can't get up in time. So Erickson bringing it up the court. Finds Jazzy again. Another miss. You can call them a dynamic duo, but they haven't made one yet. Back in the corner to Mr. Colin. Guarded by Erickson, now to Janucki. Big man Evan Zyla on him. Now fast break for Axel, behind the back and up. It's not going to fall. You got to work on those fundamental layups before you can do those fancy ones. And now the point guard, Mr. Dammy. Up top, we have Colin looking to pass. Back to Dammy, guarded by big man Evan Zyla. Probably one of the biggest guarding duos out there. Mr. Ferris under the basket. He gets that one to fall. Staff now up by 6. He'd be proud of me. He's my math teacher. 8-14 the score. Erickson looks to find Andrew. Andrew Stafford not going out for basketball this year, but rather working with me at M&M Supply. And the ref, Mr. Lester, calls a foul. So Mr. Shile went back in, now this time for Mr. Dammy. Trayton Holtus for the 4-pointer, and it goes. Look at that one. Mr. Rothler signals that it was definitely a 4-point shot. Now Mr. Collin looking to pass. He finds Mr. Weber. Nickname for him tonight's going to be Mr. Constitution. He is the government teacher. Mr. Janucki finds himself in a little bit of trouble. It's going to be a fast break. Levi Dorsey has it under the basket behind the back. No good. Stafford gets the rebound, and he's going to look. Holtus in the corner. Inside to Eli Waring. He puts it up. Nice shot for 2 more points. Staff now ahead only by 2. Whoa, those points are given to the wrong team. Mrs. Fricky, you are not good at this. That's going to go out of bounds. Air ball for Mr. Shile. That one really did hit everything except the net. Eli Waring with a miss, but he rebounds his own shot, gives it to Erickson down low, 2 more points. Students never got those points they really deserve, but rather the staff just kept them. So Mr. Collin up top. Subs going to go in. We got Monica Tipavong and Mr. Dammy and Mr. Fricky. Coming out with Mr. Janucki and Mr. Collin. Also, Andrew Stafford on the student side. 2 minutes, 30 remaining in quarter number 1. Mr. Ferris looks to inbound it. Stolen by his all-star basketball player this year, Eli Waring. Maybe he just trained him too well. Nice behind the back pass to Levi Dorsey in the corner. That three-pointer is no good, but oh, this fight by Mr. Weber and Trayton. Mr. Weber comes out victorious. Mr. Constitution can't get that one to fall. We got Holtus back for another 4-point shot. He misses this one. It's going to bounce out of bounds. Lucky for the staff, they need a little bit of a break. They can't handle all this running. Mr. Child, definitely the ball of fire on the team, the youngest. Looks like he may still be in high school. But believe it or not, he's actually a teacher. Mr. Fricky got in trouble up top, and out of bounds is going to go. Eli Waring looks to pass it in. Finds Barris. Eli Waring with a jumper three, no good. Kevin Vaughn can't rebound it. Now Mr. Fricky has it running up the court. Over to Shile. Holtus is going to be able to save it before going out of bounds. Up the court, Waring gets it to Barris for three. No good off the side of the backboard. Mr. Shile is going to take his time because he knows his teammates can't catch up. Was that an alley-oop? I don't know. Maybe it was a bad shot, maybe just a bad pass. Mr. Dammy has it at the free throw line. Nice shot by Mr. Dammy, but it's no good. Tucker Liberty down low. He goes up with the opposition. He can't make it. Ball's way up in the air. It looks like a kernel of popcorn. Mr. Roth are out on the court. I don't think coaches are supposed to do that. Tucker Liberty being a little dramatic. He's going to be fouled by Mr. Keel. He's going to go to the line. Mr. Keel now has 2 fouls on the night. That's going to be dangerous.
If we're at 8 and then I hit that 4, it should be 12. And then we have 4 more.
Tucker Liberty shooting. His free throw is off the mark. Rebounded by Shile as he brings it up the court. Over to Mr. Ferris in the corner. Mr. Dammy may have traveled a little bit, but what are you going to do? He's a big guy. Oh. I think the foul is going to be on Waring. No, rather Mr. Keel. He's going to foul out of this one pretty soon. Staff can't really afford that. He's one of the younger ones on the team. Logan Barris with a nice layup right through the middle. That should put the Students up by 2. It scores 18-16. Less than a minute remains in the first quarter of play here in Tecumseh. Mr. Shile with a nice dribble move up top to cross up Logan. Again and again, he's going to go in. Just getting past it to Mr. Fricky down low, and that's nice teamwork. All tied up at 18. We're in a quick offense now. Ortiz brings it up the court along with Waring. A 4-pointer for Alex is going to be good off the bank. That's going to put him up in a much-needed time. Mr. Fricky's going to take his time. They got less than 20 seconds. Mr. Ferris up top. Mr. Dammy has it as Tucker sprints out to get him, and he's fouled. Is going up. The big tree almost fell over. The question posed, if a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound when no one's around? It would have made a sound here. Mr. Dammy's a big boy, and there's definitely a lot of people around. That's bad, but you understand what I'm trying to say. Mr. Dammy misses number 1 of 2. 6.5 seconds remaining. No good, he's 0 for 2. Waring brings it up with only a few seconds left. Baby gap in the corner, and he brings it up mid-range. It falls out. Eli Waring puts it up, no good. So final score after 1 quarter elapsed, 22 for the Students, 18 for the staff. Thanks to Trayton Holtus's really important 4-pointer there. And so if you're as heated as I am at home, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back soon. Thank you for watching.
Parents, remember your kids are watching you as they're participating in their activity. Set a positive example for your kids to feed off of.
Showing good sportsmanship not only shows good character as a fan, but can also improve productivity among the competitors.
In being a great opponent, you need to have great attitude and respect for the game.
The outcome of the game is out of your control, so sit back and let the athletes do what they do best.
Welcome back. Quarter number 2 is about to go underway. Students ahead by 4. Staff trail, scores 22-18. Really a closely contested matchup going in 8 minutes so far. So Mr. Shiles going to have the ball to start it. Up top, guarded by Liberty. He's going to drive in. Another fancy move put back up by Dammy. Like I said, he just reaches up and grabs it when no one's looking. Baby Gap finds Ortiz in the corner. Mill Ninja. Tanner Kerner up top for 3. It's going to be good. Look at that boy go, and dang, look at those basketball shoes. What are those? Really, what are they? They look like some rotten oranges. So Mr. Stile bringing it up the court. Mr. Collin down low, guarded by Ortiz. Gonna try to go up. What kind of foul is gonna be called here? Oh, it's gonna be a push on Ortiz, but I saw a travel. But I'm not the one in the striped shirt. Mr. Collin inbounds it. Stolen by Baby Gap Little Ninja Man. Stolen back by Collin. He's going to be putting it up. It's good. So you see Mr. Keel there, very important man for the students as they broke going into quarter number 2. Instead of team or JCC, it's Mr. Keel. So Tucker Liberty goes up and 1. Or maybe the foul was called before the shot. Indeed it was. Baby Gap's going to pass it in for the students. Tucker Liberty up top, not much of a point guard himself, but he's going to have to act as one right now because Colton Wellman is not much better. Baby Gap up top, setting it up. He gets it to Caleb Eggleston, who hasn't seen a lot of playing time, but he shoots that 3, and it's going to be another air ball. Tanner Kerner with a nice rebound. He looks to pass to anyone except Caleb. And in the corner, we'll have Tanner, guarded by Mr. Keel. Ooh, in his face! Unfazed as Tanner now has 6. Second quarter alone. He told me before the game, you watch out. Me and Mr. Keel, we're getting into a fist fight tonight. So Mr. Collin for 4. No good off the rim. Tanner Kerner, probably the all-star out there right now. He brings it up, heavily guarded by 4 of the 5 staff out there. Maybe a double dribble, but Baby Gap loses it anyway. He's going to go back to the staff. Scores 28-22. Students ahead by 6 now. Coming out firing in quarter number 2. Nice pass by Keel over the top of Colton Wellman. Dammy has it. Ooh, is he blocked or fouled? Definitely fouled. Tucker Liberty can't block him. So Mr. Dammy, he's going to have his second chance of the night at the line. Currently 0 for 2. That was a nice one. Jazzy Ashvin's going to come in for Baby Gap Little Ninja Man, also known as John Duncan. Just for those at home that may not know who I'm talking about. A few substitutions for the staff as well. Mr. Shile and Mr. Januki are going to come out. Mr. Keel wants a break, but no one else wants to go in right now. Caleb Eggleston brings it up the court. He can hardly keep his hands on the ball. Definitely can't pass it. We got it down low. Tucker Liberty tries to steal it, but the ball is just popping around there. Mr. Weber can't get his hands on it. Out of bounds it goes, and it's going to go to the black team. So Mr. Rother, quite the innovative man himself. He's developed a little bit of a, I'm going to call it a train system. Everyone just moves down a spot every time someone comes in or out. And the next person in line is going to be the next one to go in. So next up to go in for the T-Birds will be Levi Dorsey. Mr. Weber in the corner. Mr. Constitution can't get it to fall. At the free throw line, Mr. Damey drives it in. That's going to be something. There we go, just a little late to call it. Mr. Lester's always been a little bit slow.
That's why you can't catch the ball and land on your feet. That's traveling. Nice try. I'm just trying to help you guys out.
Axel Erickson brings it down the court for JCC. And Drew Stafford with a nice air ball. Now Mr. Fricky. And they signal for a timeout. We've got a coach in here now. Her name is Mr. Jolfs. So a timeout taken. Both these teams definitely need a rest, but nonetheless, I think the staff is tired. So Mr. Ferris, although he's a player, he's also going to drop a quick play. We're going to watch over his shoulder. Oh, they're drawing up an alley-oop play. This is going to be interesting. I'm sure it's going to be Mr. Damey in the heart of that one. Although he's on the bench not paying much attention. So Mr. Ferris here, you see he's drawing up this plan. It's just hard for him not to. He's coached for a total of 28 years in his career, 24 of which have been in Tecumseh. Whether it be Tecumseh High School or Johnson County Central. So a nice play by Mr. Ferris. We'll see if they can execute. Mr. Fricky up top, guarded by Jazzy. Now over to Mr. Scheil. 2 balls of fire right there. Levi Dorsey on top of him. Back sophomore year when he played basketball, he fouled a lot. He really did. He has a lot of energy and just can't quite control it always. Jazzy looks to pass, and it's stolen and batted out of bounds. Mr. Rother approves of the call. It goes back to the students. Axel Erickson's going to be the point guard on the play. Finds Andrew Stafford. And Big Baller 44. That's his name. Finds Holtus in the corner. Back to Andrew and passed out to Erickson for 3. It's offline. Nice play by Holtus off the back of Mr. Fricky. Jazzy has it on the 3-point line. It's going to be off. And if you're wondering, Jazzy and Monica are the only 2 females playing tonight, although we are using a woman-sized ball, so that may be a factor on why some of these guys are missing some of their shots. Big gap, on the other hand, it's for him. That's his size. Mr. Collin misses a 4-point shot thus far tonight. Trayton Holtus is the only one able to capitalize on that. Axel Erickson for a layup. He misses it, and it's going to be rebounded by Mr. Scheil. Up the court, down to Mr. Fricky. Oh, that's a foul. So we got Eli Waring back in for JCC Students, the black team.
Justin, I got it out.
Mr. Fricky makes number 1. Scores now 28-25, Staff down by 3. One-handed. He don't mess with 2. Holtus with the rebound. Brings it up. He looks for Eli, but he's not open. Up top, he's going to find Dorsey. He's going to go for 4. That's good. Another good shot for the students. Staff yet to capitalize on that extra point opportunity, and Mr. Scheil fires right back, and another air ball that had to go out of bounds. Mr. Collins going to take it to the corner. It's good. Stolen by Mr. Collin. He finds Mr. Scheil, back to Mr. Fricky. He's going to drive in. Mid-range shot, no good. Rebounded by Waring. Here he comes up the court. Stopped early by Mr. Keel. Eli looks. He's going to pass it to Holtus. Holtus finds Erickson on the three-point line. Axel no good. Wearing down low, stolen by Scheil, ripped straight out of his hands. Nice behind the back move, but it's going to hit the bottom of the rim. Levi Dorsey brings it up now. Don't know if that was a pass or just he couldn't handle the ball. Either way, it's going to result in a point for the Students. Mr. Scheil tries driving in, but it's going off the foot of Holtus. Mr. Fricker requests a sub in the form of Mr. Ferris. Mr. Collin in the corner, a nice little jump shot there. It looks like one of those jump shots you might mess up when you're playing 2K. It was quick and really not convenient. Monica Tibavong under the basket. She can't get it to go. Nice pass by Mr. Keel. Top of the three-point arc with Mr. Collin. He finds Mr. Ferris inside. The refs look a little confused. Mr. Rother really getting in their heads. Whoa, all twisted up like a pretzel. It's going to go to the staff. Travel's going to be called. Score is 34-28, staff down by 6 with a minute 10 remaining in the first half. Mr. Scheil drives in and it's going to fall. Less than a minute remains. Students may be able to get at least 3 opportunities out of here. Alex Ortiz on the line. It's going to be good. They're going to count it as 4. That point may be crucial in the end. Eli Waring can't quite steal it from Mr. Keel. He could have had a nice fast break, possible dunk. Eli has a good enough vertical nowadays. He can get up there. Although he needs a free lane and not much opposition, and you won't see him do it during the regular season because he plays smart. So Mr. Ferris taking his free throws. Now, I did basketball my freshman year, and he always made it very clear how important a free throw can be. Obviously, he does not remember that as he misses number 1 of 2. So we got Baby Gap down low, ready to rebound. On Mr. Keel, they pass it all the way back. Logan Barris out of nowhere takes it. He's going to take time back to the three-point line. No good, off the back of the rim, rebounded by Baby Gap, little ninja man. Tanner Kerner up top, now back to Tipavong for a long 2. Mr. Scheil with lots of opposition. He gets all tangled up in there, don't know what the call is going to be. It's going to be a foul, he's going to go to shoot a couple. 12 seconds remain in the first half. Mr. Keel finds Mr. Collin. 10 seconds. Mr. Keel goes up, nice shot. Monica Tibavong needs to pass it in quick. They find Ortiz, 5 seconds remain. Logan Barris tries to snatch it from Mr. Ferris. No good. Final score of half number 1. Students with 38, staff 32, trailing by 6. It's going to be an interesting half number 2 here at Tecumseh. My name's Sam, and we'll be back for quarter number 3 in about 5 minutes. Thanks for watching.
Sportsmanship is the ability to have fun, be competitive, and treat others with respect in the act of winning or losing, whether that's parents or players.
Sportsmanship is the balance between players, coaches, officials, and spectators.
Supporting and encouragement surpasses all harsh judgment. Express positive motivation by communicating with good sportsmanship, either in the stands or in the act of participating.
We welcome you back to Tecumseh, Nebraska, and here we are going to
First
interview
for the
Sam
staff
Buss.
team, Mr. Keel. So this is the 11th and 12th grade fundraiser. You're the class sponsor for the 12th graders. How do you think it turned out?
Well, it's not quite as good as it has been in years past, but for the most part, we got to be pleased with anything we can get.
Also, now back to the game. What's one key thing your team has to doing well so far?
I'd say conditioning, but we don't really have time to work on that, so we're in a little bit of trouble. I'm not sure there's much else we can do aside from just go with the flow. And probably by the end of the game, they're going to be ahead by 20.
All right, that's an interesting outlook. Now, looking over at the black team as they warm up, what is one player you've been focusing on thus far that's really been a key player for them?
Well, we focused on Eli Waring at the beginning of the game, but for the most part, he hasn't had that large of an impact, or at least not as large of an impact as we thought he would. For the most part, I'd say their best performer thus far is definitely Trey Holtus with his 4-point shot.
All right, also you see just walking down the hall, coming in that door, Tanner Kerner. How do you feel about him?
I'm not happy about him. I've never been happy about him. Him and I are just never on the same page, and you know what? I'm getting tired of it.
All right, well, thank you, and good luck in half number 2. Have him come over here.
Now it appears we are going to be having a second interview here with Eli Waring now.
It's team Eli Waring. We're only one half into this game, but how do you feel your team's doing thus far?
You know, I think we're doing pretty well. Coach Keel over here is really slacking, which is helping us. No, thanks for my interview. You know, we got a lot to clean up here in the second half, but I think if we do that, it won't be close here in the second half.
So you see here we've been intruded by a couple players on your team. Have you experienced any of this on the court as well?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Everybody's ball hogging.
Of course. So listen, what is one player you've been focusing on for this white team here that you thought would be a real key player?
Well, our bigs have been shutting down Coach Keel for the most part. Coach Sammy's hurt us a little bit, but you know that's expected. There's two of them big. Our guards are kind of getting outmatched. They're just slower and they don't shoot as well, and that's really hurting us.
All right, you're an unselfish man yourself, but who do you feel is the key player for your team right now?
That's tough to say. You know, I really think it's a team effort out here. We're just putting in work and trying to get points up on the board, and that's really what it comes down to.
All right, well, thank you, and good luck in half number 2.
Good, thanks. I don't need to see it. I'm not they changed that about a year ago. Shoulder might be hurt tomorrow.
All right, now over in the student section over here, it's a little bit different environment than we usually have at basketball games here at Johnson County Central because a lot of the main student section leaders are over there playing. How do you plan to step it up to keep the momentum rolling for both sides here?
I think it's automatically, given. Like, we're gonna beat them. You know, the staff has nothing on us. They're all, out of their prime. Dammy played college ball, but you see his stats.
So, as a spectator, you surely have an opinion who's going to win. You kind of made it clear you think it's the students, right?
Yeah.
Who do you think's the biggest player for them right now?
Definitely Logan.
Okay, so interesting answer. Keep the momentum and energy level up over here, Sean. Thank you.
Sure that wasn't traveling?
So a quick foul 10 seconds into the start of the second half. Tucker Liberty will go to the line. Misses his first free throw.
And I'm back. I hope Gabe entertained you while I was gone. In my absence, he always fills in so nicely. Now coming up to the court is Colin. Gets it to Dammy down low. We have them on our side of the court now. Wow, he is a big man. So now bring it up the court. It's going to be Little Ninja Baby Gap. Also his name. Stolen by Mr. Fricky. Now Mr. Shiles down low. He has like 3 people on him. He got ambushed. A push is called by Mr. Bacon. So now for 4 points, Mr. Collin can't get it to go. I think we call that a brick. So rebounded, put up a couple times. Mr. Shiles gets another offensive rebound, passes it out to Mr. Keel for 3. He took a couple unlucky ones in the first half and make that number 3. So after giving up a lot of offensive rebounds, the Thunderbird students now have it back over to Baby Gap in the corner. Mr. Fricky has it on the rebound. He finds Mr. Collin. Now over to Mr. Shiles. He's guarded by Tanner Kerner. Oh, he's going to go up. He's going to be fouled. He's going to go to the line to shoot 2. Scores 39-36. Staff now down by 3. Good comeback coming into quarter number 3. Wow, Mr. Ferris, a nice coach himself, is now critiquing Mr. Rother. Only 55 seconds in, and he's already having subs after the biggest break the game's going to offer. So Mr. Shiles makes number 1. We'll see if he can do the same with number 2. And that he does. Staff now only down by 1. Colton with a bad pass to Waring, but he recovers. Dorsey up top for 4, although the whistle was blown. Good thing, because he missed it. I don't know why Mr. Lester's going like that. Oh, clock didn't start. Swim that one on Mrs. Fricky. So Eli Waring in the corner. His 3 is off the mark. Caleb Eggleston attempts the rebound. He gets it back to Waring. Now Dorsey up top for 4. They don't want him to take that one. Oh, boy. Another missed rebound by Tucker. He was legit standing out of bounds with 2 feet, and Mr. Lester took a good couple seconds to call that one.
Hey, make sure you know who you got.
Mr. Collin brings it up the court down to Mr. Dammy. That's a dunk. That's worth 5. And just like that, the staff now have a lead of 4 over the students. First dunk we've seen thus far. I'm expecting to see an alley-oop sometime in this game. Levi Dorsey tries to dribble in. He goes up, he's fouled, going to the line to shoot 2. Levi with 6 points thus far tonight, 1 foul. Let's see if he can expand on that. Just kidding, he's on the baseline. He gets it to Eli Waring. That's a real bad pass, stolen by Dammy. Now Mr. Shiles has it. Heavily contested, but he played college ball. Levi played 1 year in high school. Mr. Dammy with a nice move down low. He's kicking it into overdrive. Tucker Liberty up top. He drives in, puts it up. Although Mr. Keel fell down, Tucker couldn't get it to go. Mr. Dammy down low, alley-oop. No good. And I think it's up to the scorer's discretion whether the alley-oop has to be a dunk or not. So Levi Dorsey up top trying to set it up. Was that an alley-oop or just an extremely bad pass almost over the top of the backboard? Regardless, I think he might need a break or maybe just needs benched for a little while to think about his decisions. That shot's going to be off. Mr. Fricky with the rebound. Popped up a couple times. Levi gets it out to Eli. Eli with a nice layup. Cherry picking down the court to Mr. Dammy. He's going to take it. Levi Dorsey goes up for 2 more. Staff now with a 6-point lead. Know how the turntables. got to go to the students. Mr. Schile couldn't get that one to go. And the lone man in red, Colton Wellman's down on the baseline. He gets it to Dorsey. Andrew Stafford in the corner, stolen by Schile on a sloppy pass. Bad pass, or bad shot by Colin. Rebounded by Colton, now off to Levi. They're going to push it up the court. Mr. Collin has it. He's going to look for Mr. Fricky, midline. No good. Colton Wellman with an aggressive rebound, although no one's around him. Levi Dorsey all alone. If only he could dunk. Eli Waring down there as well. Mr. Collins going to bring it up the court. Mrs. Joel Strice call timeout, but guess what? Our ref is half deaf. I think we're on his bad side. No cap. I think I'm really serious. They really want this timeout, but they just won't give it to him. Oh, here we go. We're going to listen in on what they have to say.
They want 30 seconds.
Wow, this is a really interesting one. No strategies.
Too tired to talk.
I don't even think they can talk over there. They can't even talk over there.
Never mind. Wow, that's an interesting one. They're just taking a breather. I really thought we'd have something interesting going on. I am sorry. Really waiting for something good. As I said, they're all kind of old and really too tired to talk. So coming out of the break, Mr. Keel will be down low. He looks to find Mr. Schile, although Mr. Dammy is going to end up with the ball. So Mr. Schile up top. Now to Mr. Dammy. He drives in. Inside out over to Mr. Januki. Midline, he's going to take it. No good, off the side of the rim. Mr. Dammy goes up. Should have been an and one, but no foul called. Half deaf and half blind. Andrew Stafford up top. He finds Barris on the other side of the court, stolen by Mr. Dammy. (45-49) the score. Staff still up by 4. That dunk really helped him. Good rebound by Andrew Stafford. He gets it out to Barris, who's going to drive in. He loses control of the ball, and Mr. Collin never really gained it. Look at that camera angle. Wow. How lucky you guys are to have such a nice drive here at your local school. Mr. Damey right on the edge of danger on the out-of-bounds line. Mr. Keel with a fader. Can't get it to go. Logan Barris with the rebound. Now to Ortiz. Logan puts it up, but it's no good. Mr. Dammy with the rebound. He's tall, but he's not fast. Back to Logan. He puts it up, I guess, but he's fouled. He's going to go to the line shooting 2. Logan does play basketball, although you don't see a lot of his playing time on the varsity squad. Maybe that'll change this year. A legal substitution, possible. Mr. Ferris is going to come in for Mr. Dammy.
He would know as a coach his kids have one check to lead.
One thing we haven't seen this year that we have seen in years past is more than 5 people on the court at one time. We usually end up with like 6 or 7 students. Although staff is trying to keep it as minimal as possible. If they could play with 4, they would. So Mr. Schile passes it down to Mr. Ferris on the baseline. He's going to try to find Mr. Collin, but it's deflected. And we're back. Holtu's down low. He may be fouled and one. 47-51. Trayton House now has a chance to narrow the lead to only 1 point. So you have that 49 now. What a fun atmosphere we have. Only a minute 45 remaining in quarter number 3. I could have swore that first quarter really went by slow in regards to quarter number 2 and 3. So Mr. Rother talking to the ref about possible conflict. So Mr. Scheil up top. He finds Mr. Ferris. Boy, oh boy, look at that jumper. Off the bank, off the rim, off the bank, and then it goes in. So Staff now ahead by 3. Sorry about that, we had to take a quick selfie break. It is the 21st century. So Mr. Collin now dribbling with his knees. Nice block there, and I believe we call that a screen. Alex Ortiz finds Holtu, so they're going to dribble up the court together. Alex on the 4-point line. It's no good. He got the first one to fall, but not that one. Good job by Tanner with a little bit of a pass block. A nice drive there by Erickson to get 2 more points for the Students, now only trailing by 3. Less than a minute remains in quarter number 3. Mr. Scheil brings it up. Midland Hoops, as the shirt says. Oh, what a nice move, but he can't get it to go. Whistle blown, clock's going to be stopped at 33.6. He makes his first. Tanner now off the court for the Students. Trayton Holtus with the rebound. Mr. Scheil making one of his 2. Staff ahead by 4. Less than 30 seconds remain. Tanner Kerner's back. What a quick bathroom break that was. Monica Tipavong mid-range. She gets that one to fall. Narrowing the lead for the Staff to only 2. Less than 20 now. Mr. Collin has it at the 4-point line. He's going to waste a little bit of time. He is a girls basketball coach, so he's used to using this size of ball. Less than 5 seconds. Mr. Ferris back to Mr. Collin for 4. Oh, what a buzzer beater for 4 points. Putting the Staff at 60. Students only at 54. And so we're going to take a quick break going into quarter number 4. Current score is 60-54. Students with a big deficit. Thank you for watching.
Sportsmanship is not just for players, it's also for parents. Parents, thank you for supporting our teams and teaching us to be good leaders.
Cheer for your team to win, not for your opponent to lose.
Sportsmanship is not just the responsibility of those participating, it's everyone's. So parents, please.
We're going to go for a few minutes and then we're going to load it up. Okay.
Starters again?
Yep, starters will be back in 2 minutes.
So do you want me in?
Wait, I want you in now.
Okay. So I'm out.
Just stay where you're at. Don't say a word.
And then starters come back in.
The guys that were in there are still in, right? Except for Monica just got subbed out.
And Trey.
Right. Rebounds.
No, we're running with
We have 5.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right, here we go. Hey, let's get a breakdown. Let's go.
Vulture! 1, 2, 3, Vulture! Wow, that was much more eventful than the Staff's timeout. So we're going to go with starters here in a little while, but for now we're going to keep with this squad. Back on the normal light, can you tell a difference? So Mr. Lester signals the Staff will be going this direction. Their old minds got to them. They forgot. So Mr. Scheil is just kidding. Tanner Kerner with the steal. Baby Gap now has it. A couple spin moves. Nice floater. No good. Mr. Scheil with the rebound. Fast break to Dammy. Levi Dorsey there to stop him from dunking it, but he still lays it in. Staff now ahead by 8. Tanner Kerner lets that one roll out of bounds. Refs say it's going to go to the students. Levi Dorsey up top. He drives in, takes it mid-range. No good as it rolls off the top. Mr. Child's going to bring it down. Tries taking it up, but it's going to be after the foul. Oh, I called it earlier in the game. There's 6 now for the students and 6 for the staff. What a matchup this is. We got big man Evan Zyla up top. It's my boy. Timeout's going to be attempted to be called to Mr. Roth, and now they're just wasting time. Mr. Collins going to be called with a 5-second pretty soon. Boom, there it is. Good job by Baby Gap.
He was using that against you.
Attaboy Mr. Lester analyzing the situation. Levi Dorsey up top, setting it up. Baby Gap gets it to Evan Zyla. Not much of a dribbler himself, nor a passer. Over to Baby Gap in the corner with those nice blue shoes. Purple, rather. I don't know if that's an alley-oop or just an air ball. With Caleb Eggleston, you'd never know. 4 points for Mr. Collin after that buzzer beater last time. He can't get this one to fall. Students still trail by 8. Now alley-oop would get them to where they need to be. Tucker Liberty loses control of it and gives it right back to Mr. Lester. Mr. Collin on the fast break, no good. That one just flew all over the place. Mr. Collin with quite the shot. Holtzus and Waring, they got those starters in. Now with only 5 on the court. Monica Tipavong in the corner. She takes the 3. No good, rebounded by Waring. He's gonna go up. Foul's called. It's gonna be taken on the baseline. Eli Waring gets it to Monica Tipavong now with more of an angle. She takes that 3, another miss. Not enough energy by the staff to get him, to get that rebound. Levi Dorsey's gonna attempt the 4-pointer. That's good off the backboard. That's gonna put him a little bit closer, closing the deficit. Once again, my name is Sam Buss, and I'm joined by Gabe DeFries occasionally on the mic and the rest of the Strife crew tonight, bringing you tonight's Staff versus Students game. I hope you're enjoying it at home. Levi Dorsey with the alley-oop attempt, but he can't get his hands on the ball. Mr. Fricky now has it. Finds Mr. Child in the corner. Back up to Mr. Dammy for a long 2. No good, that's a brick. Holtzus gets it to Dorsey. Nice layup for him, but he can't get it to fall. Dorsey in the corner for 3. That's an air ball. Eli Waring with a nice rebound, and that's a foul if I've ever seen one. Good sportsmanship, though. So Waring now shooting 2 for the Thunderbirds. If you see there, it may be hard to see on your screen, but look at those new basketball shoes. Oh boy. So Eli misses his first. Nonetheless, those are some nice looking shoots. Misses 2 of them, and he gets his own rebound. He puts it up, no foul this time. Mr. Schile with the rebound. Students still behind by 4 points. Score is 58-62. Nice rebound for Tucker. He's going to get it to Waring, who's going to pass it to Holtzus. Butterfingers. Mr. Collin has it. Now Mr. Schile, mid-range. Nice pass over to Mr. Fricky. Alley-oop can't go. That may have sealed the deal. Quarter number 4, just under 5 minutes remain in the game. Monica Tipavong cherry picking all the way back at the blocks. Now only down by 2. Let's see what happens here. One of those big scoring factors may come into play here. An alley-oop by Mr. Danny may be in store. Good defense by Dorsey. He's able to get it. Now past Mr. Fricky. He passes it off to Holtzus because he's not sure he may be able to make that one. Now with 9 points, Holtzus. Schile in the corner. Tries calling timeout. He is tired. Wait a second. Uh-oh. We're missing a member of the staff team. I don't know who, though. That'd be Mr. Weber. He is absent. Mr. Dammy with a nice pass up the court to Mr. Keel, although it's off his feet. Levi Dorsey now at the top of the arc. He has an open chance for a three. He gives it to Holtus for 4. That's a nice shot. Now with a lead for the first time in quarter number 4, Students are ahead 66-62. Bringing it up the court, taking plenty of time will be Collin and Shile. Oh, we're looking for a big substitution for JCC. Timeout's going to be called.
How do they have 65?
Just another really eventful timeout for the staff team. 3 more minutes is all they need, they say. We're going to take that mic away. That didn't do us much good. But definitely stay tuned. We'll have a couple post-game interviews in store for you, for your viewing enjoyment. So now the squad's going to be Colton Wellman, Logan Barris, Axel Erickson, Andrew Stafford, and Alex Ortiz of the black team. Now with only 2 subs, the staff team's looking a little mangy. Passing it in will be Mr. Janucci. Mr. Shile brings it up as he leaps like a gazelle. In the corner we have Mr. Keel.
Rebound!
3 is no good. Logan Barris goes up for the rebound. Mr. Janucci's just a little bit too much. Whistle's blown. It's going to go to the black team. Logan Barris looking to be the point guard. It's stolen by Mr. Janucci. That's going to fly out of bounds. It's going to stay here.
Team up! Team up!
Mr. Dammy up top. He's going to drive. Lots of opposition. He's going to be fouled to the line. He's going to go shooting 2. Down by 4. These free throws can be crucial in the final minutes. Just over 3 remain. Another big substitution for JCC. That's a whole nother 5. Oh, we got more than 5 in there right now. I can tell you that. There you go. We got big man Evan Zyla trying to guard Mr. Dammy after this free throw. He misses. Mr. Keel with a nice rebound under the basket. He puts it up, limiting the deficit to only 2 for the staff team. Up the court, here comes Baby Gap, little ninja man with those nice purple shoes. Stolen by Mr. Shile. It's a fast break, all alone. He can't lay it in because he's legit 5'8". Tanner Kerner, the point guard. Nearly stolen. It's going to be bobbled out of bounds. It's going to go to the staff. Once again, another big substitution for JCC. They're going to get everyone as much playing time in small intervals as possible. So Eli Waring and Tucker Liberty, Holtus. That dynamic trio's back in. Lots of opposition by Dorsey coming up the court. Out of his hands. They're going to have him on the floor. Mr. Shile has it up top. Now over to Mr. Keel. Nice pass to Dammy. Down low, he goes up with a nice post move. He gets it to fall. Staff somehow was already ahead, and now up by 3. Scoring is not adding up. I'm glad our scorekeeper, Kata Baird, is able to keep on top of it. Eli Waring down low. He can't get it to go. Another rebound off the top of the backboard. Mr. Keel has it. And out of Mr. Shile. That's no good, but he gets his own rebound. As it flies out of bounds, it's going to stay with the white team. And so a little bit behind the scenes, what you can't see or hear. Down on that floor camera, we'll have Elena Chavez. She's giving you all those cool angles. And up top, Philip Kaufman. He's giving you that angle you see most often. Also on the scoreboard and computer, it's Kata Baird, and then we have Marcus Shear on the switcher. Also with me once in a while, Gabe DeFries, keeping me some nice stats. And my name is still Sam Buss, hasn't changed. So Trayton Holtus with the 4, it's going to be off the side of the rim, out of bounds. Students still trail by 6. A minute 24 remain. They're going to need a big play. Mr. Keel gets it to Mr. Collin. Nice pass down the court, mid-court. Now Mr. Dammy. He's going to drive. He goes up. He's fouled. Not real consistent thus far tonight on his free throws. Let's see if he changes that here. So now the assistant coach for the staff team will be Presley Jolts. And what a nice picture you have on that board right there. She colored in those circles really nicely. Oh, making some plays down there, I see. Whoa, blocked by Mr. Collin. Levi Dorsey's able to keep the ball. Nice dribble move. Nearly stolen by Mr. Dammy. It's going to stay with the Students as it goes between Eli's legs, although he never touched it. So up to Levi Dorsey, pass midcourt. And as he passes, he's met by Mr. Fricky. He's going to drive. He goes up, and it's rebounded by Mr. Keel. Now is not the time to be selfish. That was clearly out of bounds. Oh, it's going to go to the staff. We had a very strict talk with Mr. Lester today during lunch as he sits and stands right next to our table. Mr. Lester, you must be fair tonight and give no one an advantage. He says, me? Why would I not be fair? Ooh, I hate to say it, Mr. Lester, but wow. So now less than 40 seconds, Eli Waring gets that one to fall. They need a timeout. Whistle's blown, it's going to stop the clock. Students say that's an alley-oop because Eli never touched the ground. Discrepancy is going to be ignored by the scorekeepers. Oh, look at my vocabulary soar. Levi Dorsey right on Mr. Scheil. He's able to find Mr. Dammy. Nearly stolen by Eli. Staff says they're in the bonus 1-1.
They've been in bonus like an hour.
Oh, both teams are at 10 fouls. So the score is 68 for the Students. The staff have 72. Less than 30 seconds remain. I think the staff may have wrapped this one up. Today in calculus class, Mr. Ferris told us, either way, it's a good thing for him tonight. Whether his team wins, it's a good win for him. But rather, if the Students win, good job for them as there's some college ball players and some big men on the opposition. So he has good hopes for his team this year, although it's a tightly contested match. As we've seen in the last 3 years, Alex Ortiz with the rebound, less than 30 seconds left. He's going to push it up, but he's double teamed. He finds Trayton Holtus over to Eli Waring for 4. That's an air ball, hit everything but the net. Another shooting opportunity as they made their last 2. Give them another chance. Staff are starting to run away with this one. Mr. Keel's prediction during halftime saying they would be down by 20. Just a little bit off. Never underestimate the power. So now shooting will be Mr. Collin. $15 points for him. Make that 16. Thank you, Gabe. A valuable stat person is so important to a good drive. So shooting again. He's going to make it 2 for 2. 14 seconds remain. They're going to need an alley-oop. And even then, it's still going to be kind of close. Alex Ortiz has it. That's a 4-pointer. He can't get it to go. Justin Dammy with the rebound now. Mr. Collin gets it to Mr. Fricky. Oh, that's a bad pass. Mr. Collin up top for three, and there's the buzzer. He can't get that one to fall. Final score as Tucker launches it into the ceiling for no apparent reason. Students 68, Staff 75. So we're going to get a couple quick interviews, and we'll be back to discuss a little bit of postgame. Thank you for watching. We'll be back real soon. Don't go anywhere.
There is a dunk contest. Add some points. Here's the dunk contest. Good job, guys. Good job. Hey. Good job, fellas. Good job. Good job, guys. Good job. Good job. Nice try. Don't cry. Safety glasses. $120. Big game, guys. Thank you. Let's go. Go. Coach? No one in on the air?
All right, now down here with the victorious Mr. Fricky. Mr. Fricky, did you expect to win this game?
No. We had 8 players. They have a lot of players.
Adding to that, 8 players that really haven't had a lot of conditioning. How do you think that affected your game today?
We were completely out of shape, minus the young guys. They're in pretty good shape.
Give it to me. Give it to me. I'll go put it in the safe. Well, that's just in your office.
You want to take it? What do you mean no?
All right, so I'm down here behind the big tree of Mr. Dammy with the Students head coach, Mr. Rother. So coming into this game, did you think you'd have a big advantage or a small advantage, seeing that you had a lot of players compared to their few?
Say again?
I'd rather not. Next question. What do you think is one big advantage you had with your team being younger than your older team?
Say again.
All right, well, good interview, and congratulations on such a great win.
You did win.
My name is Sam Buss with a quick post-game wrap-up for tonight's game. That final score just really blew me away. All right, I'm down here with a quick post-game wrap-up. My name is Sam Buss, and that game did not go quite as planned. I kind of thought the students were going to run away with it, but really, the staff did a great job firing coming out of that second half, and really an impressive outing. So we had some key players such as Justin Dammy, Mr. Keel, and Mr. Scheil, definitely big ball of fire coming off the bench. Still very young. Very well could have been mistaken as still a high school student, but believe it or not, he is a teacher. And so a great job by students too, but I'm just really impressed with the energy that the staff was able to show throughout the whole game, really, and they kept it up. And if I am right, I think they've won every year so far. And like I said, Mr. Ferris is happy with this win going into the basketball season here next week. I think he's going to have a good squad. And if anything, tonight gave you a good preview of what the basketball season has to offer, mostly on the guys' side, although there is only a few girls playing tonight. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed watching tonight, and it was a good game all around. If you couldn't be here, I'm glad you decided to watch on Strive. My name is Sam Buss, and I was joined by the whole Johnson County Central Strive crew tonight. Wishing you a good night, and thank you for watching.